Not know it by turnout, but there is a primary election that's going on right now across New York. Early voting, in fact, started over the weekend in the primaries for state senate and congressional races. Most of them are uncontested, though we do have some heated campaigns like the 23rd Congressional District. Well, in the first 2 days this weekend, just 1,414 people voted in Erie County, slightly less than the first round of primaries that we had back in June, which included the governor's races, and far less than the nearly 7,800 people who voted in the last general election in November. Remember, that was an off-year election, though, so no state or federal offices on the ballot for that one. So let's talk about all this now with Ralph Mohr, the Republican Elections Commissioner for Erie County. Thanks so much for coming on. It's interesting when you look at those numbers, right? What we gave there for Saturday and Sunday didn't include today. I know we'll get another update from your office later this evening, but we can't imagine that it's going to move the needle too much. What do these tell you about the interest in this election right now, at least early on in early voting?
Well, we had about 100 people come within the last hour after work to go and cast ballots. So we are pretty much on track as we were with the June primary elections. The numbers are a bit lower, as you had discussed. However, that's to be expected because in the June primary, when the governor races were on the ballot, every enrolled Republican, every enrolled Democrat were eligible to vote, plus you had some conservative primaries in the local races. This year, only Republicans in the 23rd Congressional District and the 61st Senatorial District, conservatives in the 61st Senatorial Districts, and Democrats within the 26 Congressional Districts are eligible to vote. So the pool is smaller for this August election, so the numbers, of course, would be a little bit smaller as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to find any argument here in terms of this it not being good to make it easier for people to vote, right? But Erie County has, almost 40 polling locations that have now had to be open for two separate primaries that, again, these primaries just don't have a ton of races, not a huge amount of interest. I know you have to manage a budget and you have to pay for all these elections. I mean, I wonder as you do the cost benefit analysis, how you come out on this.
Well, certainly it would have been much cheaper to have one primary election. And while it was possible practically to have the June election in August, I think the political considerations, plus the fact that many of those gubernatorial campaigns were already underway at the time the August primary was set, prohibited that from occurring. The Board of Elections staff here has been doing a tremendous job. We actually certified the June primary election on a Thursday, and on Friday we were mailing out the absentee ballots to military and overseas personnel for this August election. So we had no break whatsoever in between the two elections. Erie County always ranks number first or second across the state for early voting. Partially, it's the result of the number of polling locations we have, the way we make it easily accessible for everyone within the county to attend to any polling place within the county, and they'll get their ballot. And then also the hours that we keep. The Board of Elections made that decision to try to make it accessible as possible, and we've been doing that over the past few years.
Yeah, and again, I think people are very appreciative of the ease at which people can vote early. So that's certainly a good thing. I'm almost out of time. I've got less than a minute. But I want to ask you about this alert that the town of West Seneca just put out a short time ago, basically saying that because there are so many political signs around the community center and the library there, which is an early voting site, that they're saying all political signs on Union Road will be removed starting tomorrow, and signs on Legion Parkway will be limited to 2 per campaign. What can you tell us about that? And it's our understanding that unless you say this rule applies to all signs, you can't single out political signs, that you're not allowed to do this. What do you know about what West Seneca is doing?
Well, the Board of Elections doesn't regulate signs. However, we do ask our polling places to allow political signs during the times of the election and the early voting. It's never permissible to put signs up in the right-of-way. Municipalities and highway departments are totally within their right to remove any signs within the municipalities. And it goes both ways. We ask many of our private polling places as well not to put up signs suggesting a vote one way or the other. We're asking the campaigns and the candidates to be respectful as the polling places are to them. And hopefully the situation in West Seneca, the campaigns will get together and limit the number of signs so it doesn't become a safety hazard to the citizens of West Seneca.
We've been talking with Ralph Mohr, the Republican Elections Commissioner in Erie County. Thanks for coming on, sir. Good luck over the next few weeks.
You're welcome. Thank you.